Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be in control of the mighty Wood Elves here, up against my opponent, Black Angel, who's in control of the Vampire Counts. So a very cool little matchup here, and we are of course going to be going with the mighty WayWatcher builds, which I have been experimenting different army builds recently with Wood Elves. I haven't been using the WayWatchers as much. Before I go back a little bit more old school and start picking them up. So, for our front line, we have gone for the Eternal Guard with shields. Now, the shields really aren't necessary in this matchup, just because we are against counts who don't have any range. It's a little bit of a mispick there, but still, these guys hold for absolutely ages, which is just what we want them to do. They're not here to kill too much. They're there to hold and allow all these other kind of utility units in our army to do the job. We also have one unit right in the back here for reserve, and a couple of units of Dryads. Now, these guys are pretty fantastic against counts. They can tear through chaff very quickly, the fact they're damage dealers. They also do magic damage, and overall, I mean, just look at them. They look very scary and creepy. Some of them even have 3 eyes and all sorts of nastiness. So they're going to be saturating into this front line once it does engage, just to add a little bit of punch and power to our front line. Now, we do have a spell singer of beasts here, who, if I'm not mistaken, has brought the Mantle Summon. Yes, there we go, Transformation of Kadon. Also, the Curse, which is just generally a decent spell overall. Also, the Amber Spear and Flock of Doom, so a nice little bit of utility from her there. Now, in the front, we do have 3 units of WayWatchers, including the Hawk Eyes of Jakira, the Regiment Renowned version, who have a very nifty little smoke bomb, which hopefully will be able to catch this battle. So overall, these guys are absolute damage dealers. Massive burst damage, limited ammo, however, so you do have to take them off fire at will and pick your targets a little bit carefully. Now, we've gone very ballsy here with a very off-meta pick. And we have gone for the Waystalker, who's a little bit like a WayWatcher himself, but, you know, single model, not overly competitive, or not considered overly competitive. Maybe we can change that. But he does do magic damage, which is super useful if he comes up against the Mortis engine or any of those type of tools, and overall it's always good to have magic damage against people who can bring ethereal units. So we'll see how he gets on. He also actually has a very useful ability, for I'll just add before we move on. The Eyes of Kurnos gives plus 10% missile damage to anywhere nearby, and of course he's going to be rolling with these WayWatchers. I'm just going to leave this on pause now, as I believe the battle does get underway quite quickly. Now, up in the skies, kind of floating like a praying mantis right now, we do have the Glade Lady up on top of her mighty dragon here. It's a little close-up look on her. This is a really badass saddle, by the way. I don't think I can get a better picture of it later. That she sits in, which I didn't actually notice she had until this battle. So she has come in with the Prey of Enough Rana, which of course is fantastic. Stops someone from moving, just like any net spell, but an increased minus 22% missile resistance, which is absolutely crazy. Apart from that, she just brought her stand, Arrows of Kurnos, and also the nice Venomous Breath there. Now let's have a little look at my opponent's build. So here's gone for 2 Vargulfs, leading the charge here. Overall, very decent units, scary little guys. They'll be able to crush through the front line rather quickly and try and just hammer through onto that back line. Now for his main line, he's got a mixture of Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Warriors as Spearmen. Nice cheap chaff. It's a very good idea to go wide against the Wood Elves, just for this reason over here, the WayWatchers. Now, they need big targets to shoot down, much like these Vargulfs, but they're going to be too useful shooting at mass Skeleton Warriors. Also in the front line, he has the Feasters of the Dusk, Crypt Ghoul Regiment of Renowned unit, who can, I believe, Vanguard? Let's have a little double check. They can Vanguard deploy. I would have probably liked to see these guys Vanguarded, but overall they're a decent unit. They have poison, they should be able to cut through the front line fairly quickly, and they're pretty speedy at 42 speed, which isn't too bad at all. Now, over on the left flank here, he does in fact have a unit of Blood Knights, which is a must pick. I feel if you use counts, you have to bring at least 1 unit of these badasses. They are one of the best cav units in the game. Huge shock damage, frenzy, anti-large, just super useful. Don't want them sitting on the dragon for too long. Also, a unit of Fellbats, which is great in this matchup. They're a sticky, annoying unit, which can pop on archery units and do a decent amount of damage. There is the Die Pack, Regiment Around Direwolves, and also the Black Coach, which is going to be a menace that can just push through that front line and hop in the back there. So let's get this battle underway. Oh, and last but not least, we do in fact have Vlad von Carstein himself, the tankiest of all tanky lords. He is ridiculously tanky. Let's get his stats up. The Carstein Ring, he has brought this. So this is crazy. So for 30 seconds, he has 90% damage resistance, which is absolutely absurd. So he can just fight for a crazy long time. He's also brought a lot of spells. Win of Death, Raise Dead, of course, Invocation of Nehek. So probably best for me is to leave him to the end, but let's see what happens. So we do in fact net down one of these Vargulfs here, and all the WayWatchers, including that Waystalker, plus the Glade Lord are going to start firing in. Now, we don't have him at the best angle here on the hill, but a few of those bursts are getting in, and you can see his leadership is just absolutely tanked. He's below half health already, and there's very little chance of him getting out here. He is just taking volley after volley to the back there, and he's down already. Look at his health just absolutely melt. My opponent does make a bit of a mistake. They're trying to heal him up. I'm not sure if that heal went off. It's probably best to not bother, as he's kind of already guaranteed dead. It's just a waste of winds at magic. Now, we are going to be firing into some skeleton spearmen here, which would normally seem like a bit of a waste. But at the moment, I can't see the Feast of the Dusk, and this guy was out of range. So I might as well fire some shots in, just trying to crumble that front line a little bit. And now, of course, as the more pricey, juicy targets have come into range, we are going to be switching to them. Nice breath attack coming in here on top of the skeleton warriors, which did a decent amount of damage there. Looks like up to 44 kills already. My opponent realised what happened to the last Vargulf, is going to do the very good idea here and pull the Vargulf back. Might as well bring him in much later into the game where he's not going to be targeted and these guys are a little bit more tied up. And the front line does engage. So these Feast of the Dusk will do fairly decent up against Eternal Guard, but we do have Dryads who are charging in and out, who are going to really help the Eternal Guard out and manage to break through this kind of skeleton chaffy line, as this is a bit of a wet noodle contest right here. So overall, the front line has engaged, but the real battle is going to be, can I keep these WayWatchers online? Now, we do see the Blood Knights coming round from the flank. We're going to switch our target and heroically charge in the Glade Lady here, just to hold these guys up. She doesn't want to stay in sustained combat with them, but with the help from 3 units of WayWatchers, plus the Waystalker firing in, we should be able to quite comfortably win this battle right here. We also do drop down a curse to slow these guys down. 24% less speed, which is super useful as it makes these guys way more accurate. They won't be able to escape, and we can just hunt them down with the Glade Lady really effectively. Should be able to finish them off quite nicely. However, my opponent, great play here, does manage to whip the dire pack round the flank there and hop onto the back of these WayWatchers, which is obviously a big problem. Plus the black coaches come in. We did drop the smoke bomb a little bit earlier and it didn't actually catch the dire pack. It has quite a short area of effect. It looks like those Blood Knights did go down, so we're trying to use the Glade Lady here as a bit of backline kind of protector. Her main job is to protect these WayWatchers, so she's going to be popping back. Should be able to crump down the dire pack. As you can see, they've already done a huge amount of damage. Looks like they're going to break off 1 unit of WayWatchers, and these bats could probably just chase them off. So the Waystalker has got in the midst of a load of zombies, but he's actually a very decent combatant. He should be able to protect these WayWatchers and fight them off fairly comfortably. We also do summon up a Feral Manticore here, so we're trying to chase down the Black Coach and some of these more annoying kind of quick units. My opponent, great play earlier bringing back the Vargulf, but he really needs to bring him into the battle now, and he also has a unit of Skeleton Spearmen who could collapse in on this flank and do a decent job trying to overthrow these Eternal Guard, because for the most part, I'm actually winning the front line, which is quite rare, you know, with Eternal Guard, but mixed in with the Dryads, they're up to, 49 kills, really helping cut through these Skeletons, quite cheap units. In the back line, it looks like one of the units of WayWatchers has started to tear out, and this unit over here did run away, but they have come back into the fray. And it looks like the Glade Lady is slowly starting through its back line. We've got the Fellbats almost breaking here, but that Black Coach has been a massive pain right now. So hopefully we'll have any next spare, might be able to net it down and hopefully hop the Manticore on. In fact, that's just what we do right here, just as I say it. We do in fact drop down their Cave enough ramen here, and the Manticore is going over there with the Spellslinger, just trying to beat down the Black Coach as much as possible. And it looks like the Glade Lady is trying to finish off these Fellbats before hopping on to the Black Coach over here. And it looks like all our WayWatchers are back online at the moment, and they're quite spread out now, which means they're harder to protect. However, they're also hard to shut down. It looks like, yeah, we're going to do a bit of crossfire trying to take out the Fellbats, which is a decent opportunity right now, because the front line, as we said before, is just holding and going fairly effectively. Big Vlad is up to 34 kills now, and he's easily going to crunch through these guys, but he's not really getting his value here, I don't think. Yes, he's hard to kill, but he hasn't done too much damage. He's just been running around, killing Eternal Guard and whatnot. So we do drop a smoke bomb down on top of these Fellbats and firing a couple of shots, and they are finished off. Now the last real unit that can kind of do backline harass very effectively is this Black Coach and the Vargulf, but he's over in the distance right now. So we're going to be trying to shut this guy down with the Glade Lady, and the WayWatchers are probably going to be switching their attention to her as well. So it looks like for the most part the backline is now secure. We're holding up these summoned zombies with the Waystalker, who's up to 59 kills now, I believe. Let's see. Where is the level? Doing his little spins and tricks. He's up to 62 kills now, so he's doing fairly decently. Plus he's got some pretty cool animations there, doing some spins. As the Spellslinger also comes in and starts pounding out some zombies. So it looks like we have finally got rid of that Black Coach, and all the backline pressure is off. So now it's just switching our attention to the front line. Looks like the Skeleton Spearman did come into the flank here, but a little little too late there, as an Arrows of Cornus does come in to start crumping some of them, and the Eternal Guard finish off that front line and have managed to turn around to actually face them back now. Nice breath attack coming in on these Spearmen, just helping out these Eternal Guard and Dryads, who are getting a little bit beat up. They're on to 105 kills, which is pretty bonkers, to be honest. It looks like we do net down Vlad here, hoping to snipe out with our ranged units, but he does pop the Cast Iron Rin, getting 90% damage resistance. I do not notice this, so I am just kind of wasting bullets into him as we speak. You can see this unit is also broken off, but they're going to rally, even though there's only 9 of them. I'm hoping they should come back. And 9 WayWatchers still can pack a tiny little bit of a punch, even though it's a little bit of a love tap compared to what they did early on, that first Vargulf. So at this point I realised that, okay, Vlad, he's just very sticky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Glade Lady and I'm just going to systematically move along this front line to ensure and I win all these engagements, just with Flock of Doom here, as I now have a load of healthy units of Eternal Guard, or fairly healthy at least, which should be able to either swamp Vlad or do fairly decent up against the Vargulf, as long as their leadership can hold. They're not the most elite of troops, but it does look like we have all of the WayWatchers back in line, some of them being fairly healthy, 26 over there and 22 here. They still pack a little bit of a punch, and they're all just firing their shots in at the moment, trying to do some damage to Vlad. I'm sure they're going to switch to this Vargulf very shortly. It does look like a summon of zombies has come down, just trying to slow down our Eternal Guard, keep them safe from the Vargulf. Looks like he might be trying to just centre himself around this Vargulf and Vlad, make a little bit of a last stand over here. It looks like Vargulf is coming in for charge of the Eyes of Kill, or Kajka, but they were waiting, they dropped their smoke bomb, simply run away, and he's at now minus 76% speed, and he's just going to get slowly shot to pieces by these 2 unit WayWatchers, plus the Glade Lord over here, plus even the Waystalker looks like to be firing in, and you'll see his health just slowly start to drop down here, as the wave does come in. Oh, a little bit of swing and miss for that one. But overall, he is slowly going to be taken down, and it looks like the Eyes of Jakiro did just move away, taking no damage. He might have taken 1 or 2 hits, but we'll see. Yeah, now a couple of the volleys are really starting to make contact, and another breath attack coming in, which actually does a crazy amount of friendly fire, but still, it was cool, so it is definitely worth it. Up to 177 kills now for Glade Lady, and just tearing this Vargulf apart. There's a summoned unit of zombies over here trying to shut down the WayWatchers, but they're simply going to run away, and if necessary this Waystalker could just run into combat sewn down, or in fact it looks like we're going to bring over the Glade Lady, who's just going to land on these guys and quite easily crush them. So yeah, nice little charge impact there, sending zombies flying in spews of blood, and they just collapse and give up. And it looks like that is going to be game, I think. A lot of our warriors did flee, but they have still started to rally again. They're going to be coming back, and Vlad on his own isn't going to stand too much chance here. There is another zombie summon that comes down, but with the power balance in this much, this heavily in my favour, they're probably just going to start crumbling very soon. These units are no longer just kind of super unbreakable. Summon units can in fact wave and break. And it looks like Vlad von Karlstein is disintegrating now, and that is going to be game. So very well played to my opponent. Always super fun to bring Wood Elves, especially WayWatchers. So let's go to the end stats. So as you can see, some crazy kill counts over here, but we're up against a lot of chaffs. I'm not trying, it's not the best kind of indicator. I mean, the Waystalker, I still don't think he's overly viable, but still got 90 kills and is useful for actually protecting these guys. Gives them that extra 10% damage, plus decent melee combatant who can hold off, zombie units and so forth, allow these guys to escape. Some huge kills across the board. 156 on Eternal Guard is pretty crazy. 136 and 93 on Dryads, and 183 on the Glade Lord. Overall, super fun build. It works kind of as expected. These guys hold in the front line. Well, the WayWatchers, we didn't get the most kills, but they ended up taking out the Vargulf. In fact, ended up taking out both Vargulfs in the end, and doing a huge amount of damage to those Blood Knights and so forth. And they just pick apart real meticulously at your enemy's army, and they're just such a fantastic, really fun unit to use. And it's super satisfying watching something like a Vargulf just get disintegrated very quickly. Very well played to Black Angel. I hope to meet you on ladder again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Wood Elf battle. If you did, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. Super helps out the channel and spreads the word. We have tournaments, we have little hints and tip guides. I've only got one out so far, but I'm going to be doing some more soon, and some special events are on the way. So yeah, please do subscribe and stick around. I also have a Patreon down in the description below if you want to support. Apart from that, guys, just stay awesome. Peace, peace. See you next time.